Today, on 19th June 2023, we are present over here at Deutsche Welle Global Media Forum. The main objective and purpose of us to be present over here is to get the attention of the media on various issues. We think that media has not given those issues much attention which are highly needed. With respect to this, today we have some panelists and they have some specific issues for which they are over here to get the media attention. So first of all, I introduce you the panelist, respected Professor Naela Quadri. She is the Prime Minister of Government of Balochistan in Exile. So the government of in exile, the main purpose of that institution is to also get the attention of the media and to put their voices to different governments, institutions. For that, she is over here, and we are highly thankful to you for your presence over here. Secondly, I have a very well-renowned journalist who is highly known, particularly in the South Asian region, and he is also very well known for his bold voices. Respected Atif Tokir, sir, I am highly thankful to you for your presence over here. We also have a German lady. She's a lawyer and she's a poet. She's a politician. She has been with us at many occasions at different forums. Respected Claudia Wedrich, I am highly thankful to you for your presence over here. I also have with me respected Wajah Siddiq Azad Baloch. He himself has been a journalist. He also has been a victim for his own work, and he is the Secretary General of Baloch People's Congress. He is living in Sweden. So we are also highly thankful to you, sir, for your presence over here. Today, the question is that all of us need media attention, and for that, why our issues are so important that media should get attention to those issues. With respect to this question, I request respected Professor Naela Quadri, Prime Minister of Government of Exile in Balochistan. Respected Madam, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Honorable Wajah Siddiq Azad, he's one of our mentors and our leaders senior most leader of Baloch movement. And Atif Tokir, his bold voice. We respect your voices, and sitting with us, I don't know what price you have to pay after that. Claudia, my dear, she is always a supporter and strong voice for us. Thank you so much. Actually, it's not our job to get attention of media. It's job of media to come to us and ask what's going on. A genocide is going on under the black thick sheet of Pakistan's military states. They don't allow not only international media, but even Pakistani media is not allowed to cover Baloch issues. More than 57 Baloch journalists have been killed by Pakistan state. Some target killed and some killed under torture and as enforced disappeared people. Today, for those 57 Baloch journalists, what this Deutsche Welle Global Forum has done so far, and why we have to come here and knock the doors of media, why they don't knock the doors of Pakistan's military state to allow them. I know some journalists from France and from Britain and from US, they have come to us, and when I was there in Balochistan, and we used to hide them in our homes to cover Baloch issues, and some of them had their phones and their laptops and their cameras were taken by ISI, and that they got beaten up by ISI. So the situation is in Balochistan is genocide. It's atrocity crimes against humanity in Balochistan. And today this global forum where the eminent journalists and media houses from the world are here, they must listen to Baloch voices. Around 50,000 Balochs, including women, children, are enforced disappeared, and they are in dungeons, dark dungeons of Pakistan. The smallest in age is 7 days old, a Baloch girl, 7 days old Baloch girl is also one of those enforced disappeared. So it's a long story. Our Baloch girls, they are called by Pakistan military camps for the kind of spying and other dishonored things that our people are not used to. And one of them hanged herself, Najma Baloch. She was a school teacher, a young Baloch girl. She refused to become their spy or become what are, I mean, I can't say those things that they ask, the favors. What's going on in Balochistan is beyond anybody's conscience to accept that. So we are here with lots of expectations. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, respected Professor Naela Quadri. Now I, ask question to respected Claudia Vedlich. You being a foreigner, you have been with us, being as a German, you have been with us at different forums. You have heard multiple sort of stories about atrocities, abuse of rights, enforced disappearances, particularly, abuse of women from Baloch, Sindhi, Kashmiri, all the people. What are your views that why the international media is not giving any sort of attention to those stories, to those people?
Yes, as a politician, I made many experiences with the Western media. The Western media is always connected to the narratives of the politicians, of the geostrategical issues. And Baloch people are ignored or neglected, also the atrocities they are suffering, because it is not in the intention of the states to help them. Because my government in Germany is just staying to Pakistan. And the foreign minister Steinmeier, I was in conversation with him because I'm also a political advisor. He said we are just appealing to Pakistan to respect the human rights in Balochistan. But this is without any binding. So I tried everything here in Germany to get the attention, and Germany is totally connected to US politics, and the media, yeah, some are also paid, paid by big NGOs funded by states. And they only focus on what the narrative is. Most of them never know about the issues, like in Balochistan. They, as you experience it outside, they are very surprised hearing this. And there are some journalists who are from year to year are writing about, but it is not the mainstream. It's not for the mass people that you hear it in, at the news on TV at 8 p.m. This would have a deep effect. But as I also know, I'm a think tank. I know all the policies also of America, and America says we want the human rights in Balochistan, but we don't want independence. So now the world is changing. Saudi Arabia, China is there. They all have interests, also the US. And the victims are always the people, the Balochs. Nobody is interested in the will of the people. The media is always, also here in Germany, listening to what these states want. I was 2 times a candidate for Lord Mayor, and the media neglected my party because we are a new party, and only the ones who are, established, they made it between themselves, and also the media was only presenting them. They have so much power to influence the media, and media should be independent, and media should really investigate what is really happened to people. But it seems that the interest of people are no longer interesting for the media. It must be the politics behind, which have their own narratives, their own aims, and people are disturbing them. This is why perhaps Baloch issue is so neglected, because Baloch people and the Baloch wishes are not interesting for their political aims, and this is why they are ignoring it a lot.
Thank you, respected Claudia Vedlich. Now I come to Mr. Atif Tawkir. Sir, you have been reporting from Pakistan. You have a good experience, and you have also paid for that. And you know how the Pakistani, particularly army, treats the people, and also you know how they treat the media as well over there. Earlier it was only in the Balochistan, but now there are many cases also from Punjab of enforced disappearances, and the threats which the people, they get from that institution. Now you are living over here. So what is your suggestion how those stories, those attentions can get the attention of the media, and in this regard, what the international media organizations should do to stop the Pakistani forces, to stop those atrocities?
Okay, there are now a couple of things, and we should address one by one all of them. For example, one thing is that why media is unable to report the stories of Baloch people. The problem is, one problem is technical. When you are outside of the country, you can only report, especially international media can only report if you have 2 or more sources, independent sources. And the problem with the Balochistan is that you get the news, but it's very hard to confirm that. At the same time, in Pakistan, the journalists, they're unable to report the stories. So and this happens also with the tribal areas as well, we have seen. So it's very, very tricky that how to report those stories, because of course if you don't report, that is a problem, and if you report, that could also be a problem. So this is one technical issue. For that, I think the best option is that when civil society joins, when I say civil society, it means the Pakistan's overall civil society joins the narrative. Issue is that it's not only enforced disappearances of people, it's enforced disappearances of narratives. Now, one simple idea which Pakistani society, civil society took almost around 70 years to tell general people was that everybody, every institution, whether it's military or it's government or judiciary, they should follow the constitution. And then, I mean, this is a simple idea. Is it a rocket science that everybody has to follow the constitution? Now, the problem with that is that now, after 70 years, now people in Punjab, they started learning first time that it's important that every institution has to follow the constitution, otherwise this happens. Before that, it happened in Sindh, it happened in Balochistan, it happened in East Pakistan or Bengal, it happened also in KPK, everywhere. But Punjab was far behind. In Punjab, these narratives never took place. And I think now, by the political evolution, slowly, people are realizing there, and of course then they have to pay the prices through. Plus, we also need to understand that there is a political economy of that area. military is not only a political force, it's a very strong economic force. And they have mostly economic reasons to capture areas and to make people work for them. That's the issue. And now how to take these economic powers away from them, how to limit them and their economic resources according to the constitution. This is a big question. I think these are the major, and because once these things are fixed, enforced disappearances and human rights violations, they are connected with that. Why they are happening? Because of the political reasons and because of the economic reasons. So I think we need to understand that we are organized, peaceful but organized and connected democratic struggle can only bring change. Otherwise, when we are not connected, only Baloch people cannot fight the state, or only the Pashtuns, they cannot, unless all civil society in Pakistan, they come together, they listen to the stories of Baloch people, then they find a little bit space. But now we have technological advances, we have chance to report these stories. International media can only report when we have confirmed and independent sources. But civil society and the general people, they can do these reportings. We have technological means, and we can report.
Now, when you were saying about the democratic, through democratic process, particularly in Balochistan, there is no freedom of expression.
It's nowhere actually.
No one, can say anything. There is no freedom of assembly. Nobody can, come to, and the ones who are there at the press clubs, on the streets, crying daily basis, and from many years they are doing it, and there are many people who are victim from many years. Through this digital media or through social media, whatever the people who are there they can do, they are trying to share it. But still, neither national media nor international media, get the attention of those.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, why these voices are not amplified by the people? Why Pakistan's civil society of other provinces is not connected with that? These are the major questions. Why people in Punjab, they are not raising voice for Balochistan? Why people in KPK, they are not raising voices for Sindh? There are lots of people, they are missing in Sindh as well. There are lots of Mahajir, they are suffering. So why it's happening? Why all of them, they are not connected together? They could, of course, there are lots of differences, no problem. But on the fundamental cause, they should be coming together. They should listen. They should start a national dialogue that we have to, if we want to run this country as a country, there is no other possibility but to run this country according to the constitutional guarantees. And constitutional guarantees are not for the Punjabis only. Constitutional guarantees are for every single Pakistani, and that's it. So this is I don't think so it's a rocket science. Once you are there, then independence or freedom or these things are then, because then if you have a peaceful discussion, if you have a peaceful discourse, then all these things, they can take place peacefully. Problem is that we are in a war-like situation. We don't have a dialogue. We don't have a peaceful discourse. That is actually the problem.
Thank you, Atif Turki. Now I come to Wajah Siddiq Azad Baloch. Sir, you yourself has been a journalist, and you try to say the things truly, and for that you have paid a price. Then from your childhood you have been with the Baloch politics, and you are living in exile from a long time, and now you are Secretary General of a political party. So how you see the Baloch women? They are, they march from Quetta to Karachi, then to Islamabad, and again, they are trying to start a march from Quetta to Geneva. The daily protests of the family members, the kids, they have grown up in camps. Now the second generation is also going through the same process. So why the Baloch people did not get the attention of the international media, or what is lacking over there?
Thank you, Mr. Munir. In Pakistan, the truth in Balochistan, especially, and in the other places like Sindh and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, they are being kept away from the general masses, from the people, as well as from the media. I remember that one of the journalists, in one of his article, he said that you can get news from the Mars, planet Mars, but you cannot get news from the Balochistan, because it's very, very difficult. And the people in other provinces also do not know anything about Balochistan. Most of the news has been blocked. And the culture, the language, the literature, the history of Balochistan is not known to other provinces because it has been kept blocked from the other provinces by the Pakistan Army. Pakistan Army is exploiting the wealth of Balochistan, and they want to keep it hidden, to keep it blocked, unknown for the other provinces. So that is the reason that the news is not going from Balochistan out of the province. So that is the main reason. Now about the abduction of the people, disappearance of the people. There are thousands of people has been abducted. Mama Qadir took a march, 3 months march from Quetta to through Sindh and Punjab to Islamabad. And it is in the reality, it is in the news we have that when they reach in Sindh, they were welcomed. But when they reach Punjab, they were harmed from the people, and they were disturbed from the people because the army and the police wanted to do so. So that was the reason. And the people don't know what's happening in Balochistan. And they are looting and exploiting and killing and abducting. And actually nobody knows out of Balochistan what's happening. That is the reason. And until the reason, the truth not go out of Balochistan, this process will be continue. That is the reason.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words. Now I request from respected Professor Naela Quadri. Respected Madam, what's your plea or request in few sentences from this place, from this honorable institution, that Duce Valley, to the media organizations, that what they should do with respect to Balochistan issue?
They should collectively send a message. There should be a declaration of this conference, this forum, that the media control should be ended, and international media organizations should be allowed to visit Balochistan, and we will show them where the mass graves are. We will show them where are the secret torture cells, and people of Balochistan will come and they will give their testimonies what is happening with them, how they found their loved ones' bodies carved Pakistan, live long Pakistan on them. So this August forum should come with a collective political will to come to Balochistan, not as one media house, but as the global media forum. They should come to Balochistan, and they should uncover the atrocities, what's going on, uncover the genocide, and it should come in front of the world. They should take a political decision. It's not something lingering on. And if somebody wants to go for excuses, there can be many, but if somebody honestly do their professional media, they all are guilty that they are neglecting Balochistan, they are neglecting our ongoing genocide. Thank you.
Thank you, respected Professor Naela Quadri. So, for uncovering the stories with respect to Baluchistan, for uncovering the atrocities over there, in investigation by the media organizations is needed. This is your plea that they should intervene and uncover the stories, and for that, a political will is needed. So it's a time for these organizations that they should take a decision to take a political will to go inside Baluchistan and uncover the stories of abuse of rights. Now, respected Claudia Vedlich, so you know what you suggest to the international organizations that what they should do to such people who are being abused by state forces, and where the state is so strict that no one is allowed to go. So what's your take on this, that what you suggest?
Yes, I think the media is still believing what Pakistan is telling them, that all what the Baloch are saying is a lie or something like that. And the media should be independent, an investigative media, which wants to know both sides and which wants to investigate then in Balochistan what the Baloch says, that this is true, that this can be confirmed. So it must be allowed that this international media, they can put pressure on Pakistan by their governments to investigate in situ, in the location. But I think this kind of journalism is not so much now in the media worldwide. Most are not independent, but they should be. Good journalism is always listening to both sides and tries to find out the truth and then writes about. And this I am suggesting to the international media to come back to this path, to do that. This would be also good for the journalists and also good for the victims in Balochistan. They can also make money by it because, most are not knowing that, and this could bring them also a reputation and money. So they should start real good investigative journalism. This I appeal to the Global Media Forum. Please do that for the Baloch people and in the name of peace.
Thank you, respected Claudia Vedlich. Respected Atif Tawqir, you have been inside Pakistan, so you know very well how the state controls, either through PIMRA or other institutions, the whole media network, whether that's newspapers, TV channels, or the other reporters, how the state controls them. Now you are living over here, and you know how the international media mechanism works, and we hear the words moral values and humanity and a lot of things from media organizations that they come under the journalism values. So what you think, how they can find a path, a solution to uncover those stories, and is there any way to go for that, or no? There's no any process or no way to go for those stories.
Look at it, as I mentioned in the start. Stories can only be done when we have. Always remember that it's not only media. It's about journalists. You are sending a journalist there to find a story, so it's not easy. It's easy to complain that journalists are not doing their job, but there are lots of journalists, they lost their lives. for the stories. So it's not easy to report. It's very hard. I mean, you're sending a journalist and you're asking that, because this journalist should be doing a professional job, but there is a cameraman, they have their families. It's not easy. So it's easy to complain, but it's very hard to actually report from the conflict areas. Not only Pakistan, every conflict area it happens. It's a very, very difficult. But yes, as I said, when civil society backs, then you have a space. Then you create a space. We have seen some very good stories about tribal areas after the operation. How it happened? Because of this, there was a space created by the civil society. Now, the problem is, I always wonder why Pakistani civil society is a little bit away from Baloch area. Why? We have no idea. They should be connected together, because this is not only Baloch issue, it's a human rights issue. They should be connected together on the basis of the human rights violations. So I think this is the fundamental thing. Once we have a kind of national consensus that this is a problem, then stories can be taken easily. Right now, it's hard for a journalist to go there. It's very hard. As I'm telling you that, for example, I see a story on social media, but that's a story of a social media. Now you are asking me as a journalist to take this story. What if the story is wrong? There's a huge problem with the credibility of the news. So I believe that we need to have a space first. And for the space, it's very important to have a national dialogue. And for the national dialogue, we need a very somehow a backing of the civil society. National, kind of consensus that there is a problem. This we need to, as you have already, we have already heard here that the people in Pakistan, especially in Punjab, they don't even know the problem. In fact, they want Balochistan. They don't know how many languages have been spoken in Balochistan or how many areas are there. They don't know even. A very, very educated person was telling us human rights activist was telling us that Quetta is like a little town. So they don't know. Then they want Balochistan, but they don't know the people of Balochistan. They don't know the languages of Balochistan. So I think first we need to connect this area, and once it's connected, then you have the space to report any story.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now, respected Wajah Siddiq Azad, you are Secretary General of a political party. So from this forum, what is your plea to media organizations?
Yes, the media organization must find the truth. They should arrange, they should do some arrangement with the people, with the organizations, Baloch organization in Balochistan, and they must find a way to find the truth and to inform the world what is happening in Balochistan. Otherwise, this exploitation and the killing of the people and hiding the truth will be continue. So that is the main important thing, is that the media, international media, must find a way with cooperation of the Baloch organizations. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With these words, now I give the floor to respected Atif Tawqir for
one thing. Yeah. I mean, in the start, start of the discussion. Now we have a complaint that media is not reporting, but at the same time, in the start of the discussion, Naela Api told us that it could be you have to pay the price for that too. So so this is the problem. No? Problem is that of course we have to pay the price. We know that, but the problem is that a journalist has to pay the price. So we are living here. We have somehow some room to speak. So even if we are not secure, now you are asking somebody in Pakistan to go there to do the. It's very hard. So it's a very harsh. It's a harsh complaint. People have their families. So a journalist is a very ordinary people. No, they are. So yes, for that we need to make a space. Once space is there, then you can have stories. You have seen in the recent past, people started speaking, especially in Punjab, people started speaking. But the problem is now how to connect them. how to connect them, to tell them that we are also human. We have also the same constitutional guarantees that you are enjoying. If you can be, if something, you don't go through such situations, why it's happening, why it's important, implementation of the constitutional guarantees, why human rights are important. You have to connect. Once connected, then you can perform the next stage.
Thank you, sir. Reporting about Balochistan and reporting about human rights and abuse of human rights is risky, dangerous. This is the reality. But still, those stories need to be uncovered, and for that, you have paid a price for that as well. Still, those stories need to be uncovered, and for that, from this forum, we have a request to international organizations to find a solution for that, how to report about those issues where state is so strict that no one is allowed to go over there. Even international media organizations have reported Balochistan a blackout region. So because of that, those stories, the people, they are suffering over there. Those voices are not coming up to the international forum and to the national forum. So I'm highly thankful to you all for your presence over here, for your words. I'm highly thankful to you. Thank you, sir.